Hey everyone, welcome back to ChaatNChat. My name is Josh.
My name is Miguel.
And we're watching agentsaisrinivasaathreya. This is part 3, so if you haven't watched part 1 or part 2, then in the description below this video, you can find the playlist where you can watch both of those. This is the weekly members pick, so thank you so much for voting. And if you didn't vote, as a reminder, you can go vote now for our current weekly poll by clicking the Patreon link in the description below this video. And if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing, sharing, a like button, slap చేయండి.
జాపనీస్ లో చెప్పినా నాకు అర్థం అవుతుంది.
ఎలా?
ఇదే సీన్ ని మేము తెలుగులో చాలా సార్లు చూసాం.
సేమ్ పించ్.
Oh man, these guys.
ఇందులో 7 ఉంటారంట. నా కళ్ళ ముందే 2 ఉన్నారు.
కంప్లీట్ డీటెయిల్స్ ఇంకో 3-4 అవర్స్లో పంపిస్తా.
ఓకే. గుజరాత్లో మర్డర్ కేసా?
Wow, that's across the country.
10 ఆ టైంకి ఒక గూడ్స్ ట్రైన్ వస్తుంది కదా, ఢిల్లీ వరకు వెళ్ళేది.
అవును,
ఇక్కడ ఆగినప్పుడు ఎలాంటి ఇల్లీగల్ యాక్టివిటీస్ కానీ ఎవరన్నా
ఇక్కడ ఎవరు ఉంటారు? గూడ్స్ మాత్రం 30 మినిట్స్ ఆగుతుంది. ఆ టైంలో నేను ఎలాంటి ఇల్లీగల్ యాక్టివిటీస్ నోటీస్ చేయలేదు.
కోపాలం.
సార్
తెలియం సార్, ఇక్కడ నుండి 30 కిలోమీటర్లు ఉంటుంది.
Athreya హాస్పిటల్లో లేడు.
What's it me? Oh. Just dropping boys now.
ఇది నమ్మక ద్రోహం కంప్లైంట్ చేస్తా నేను. పోలీస్ పోలీస్ పోలీస్.
Oh, he was the old man that they hired in the jail cell with him.
ఎవరా నువ్వు?
ఒక స్మాల్ ఇస్తే మొత్తం చెప్పేస్తా సార్.
Yo.
ఆ టైంలో నాకు ఫోన్ వచ్చింది. ఓ పని చెప్పారు, చేస్తే డబ్బులు ఇస్తామన్నారు. హలో, ఎక్కడికి రావాలన్నా?
Okay.
Some random dude just calls you and tells you
Yeah.
to help him with a body.
I guess. Nothing wrong with that at all.
They're paying,
Yeah.
Gotta consider that.
తీసుకెళ్ళి స్టేట్ బోర్డర్లో ఎవరికి తెలియకుండా అడవిలో కాల్చేయమన్నారు.
That didn't look like cremating. Oh, okay, there they go.
Okay. So we
నెలకి 3-4 శవాలు ఇచ్చి 7-8 శవాల దాకా వచ్చు. అలా ఒక్కో శవానికి 5,000 రూపాయలు వస్తుంటాయి.
That's a ton of money. For them, right? That's a lot. Of course they'd be dumping bodies for 5,000 a body.
yeah. I'm like, okay, so they've just got this little body burning racket.
Yeah, they're looking for investors.
మా పని ఇచ్చిన వాళ్ళకి ఆ విషయం తెలిసింది.
కంగారు పడకండి, ఒక 2 వారాలు ఎవరికి కనిపించకుండా ఉండండి.
Okay.
ఈసారి శవాల్ని కాల్చకుండా వాళ్ళు చెప్పినట్టు ఒక వ్యాన్ దగ్గరికి తీసుకెళ్ళాం.
Another guy with a van. We got a van, you got a van.
8 గంటల పాటు ఆ శవాల్ని వ్యాన్లో ఉంచి మళ్ళీ మాకు అప్పచెప్పారు.
What?
Changing bodies or again removing body parts.
శవం దొరికినా కూడా దాన్ని గుర్తుపట్టడానికి వీలు లేకుండా ఆనవాళ్ళు తారుమారు చేసి ఇంక తీసుకెళ్ళేవాళ్ళం.
So they were making the other body. Is it just human trafficking then? Like they're taking the girls and they want to make them believe that they're dead? I don't know.
Seven to 8 hours. I don't get the 7 to 8 hours. What are they doing in the 7 to 8 hours in the van?
Doing stuff to the body, man. I don't know.
And then they throw him off the edge.
What the hell?
గంగలో అస్థికలు కలిపితే చనిపోయిన మనిషి ఆత్మకి శాంతి కలుగుతుందని హిందువుల నమ్మకం.
Okay.
Oh, to save money, they're charging them?
గంగకు తీసుకెళ్లి అంత్యక్రియలు చేసే స్తోమత లేని, కాశీకి శవాల్ని తీసుకెళ్ళడానికి ఏం చేయాలో తెలియని,
Okay.
So instead of taking them all the way there.
డబ్బులు తీసుకొని శవాల్ని ఎక్కడ పడితే అక్కడ ఇసిరేస్తున్నామని ఇప్పుడు అర్థమైంది.
Oh, that is
వాళ్ళకి
disgusting.
మా పైన ఉన్న నమ్మకం బలపడేలా
Oh, those poor people. His mom, too.
Yeah.
Because his mom, that's why it's the whole thing from the beginning. He didn't have time to say goodbye and...
Right.
And they steal all the jewelry and identifying markers.
Very, very sad. Manipulating people over their grief.
నాకు తెలియదు బాబు. అలాగే వాళ్ళ ఏకిల్లో బాడీ ఇస్తే వాళ్ళు ఏం చేసుకుంటారో కూడా నాకు తెలియదు బాబు. ఒట్టు.
Yeah, now that's the new mystery. Like, what the heck are they doing to him in the van?
అది లేదంటే తెల్లవారుజామున అమృత గడియల్లో దహనం చేస్తే స్వర్గానికి వెళ్ళిపోతారు. మళ్ళీ జన్మంతో ఉండరు.
This hits so hard for him.
Upsets my stomach to think that
Well, he's thinking now that his mom went through this and that
Yes.
she actually didn't get to go where...
నిజం చెప్పు మామయ్య.
అది గంగలో గెలిపితే పుణ్యమని.
So it was his mom, they did it to his mom. Oh, God. So now you think mom is out in the woods somewhere, or one of the bodies that they picked up unidentified.
And unidentified, and then did the mass cremation.
Oh, don't think about it. Dude, don't think about it.
ఒక మనిషి చనిపోతే మనం అంత్యక్రియలు చేసి వాళ్ళు బ్రతికిన జీవితానికి మనం చూపించే గౌరవం సార్.
And a last connection with them. Yeah.
చెత్తలా పడేస్తారా సార్?
So disrespectful and just not even decent human being. So who's at the top and
గోపాలానికి వాళ్ళ బాస్ ఎవరో తెలియనప్పుడు మనం ఎలా కనుక్కునేది?
Wait for the calls to start coming in and go undercover.
10 days క్రితం చనిపోయిన వ్యక్తి 5 days బ్యాక్ మర్డర్ ఎలా చేశాడు?
Planting evidence?
తను ఆల్రెడీ చనిపోయాడు. సో ఆ మర్డర్ చేసిన వ్యక్తి ఆల్రెడీ చనిపోయాడని ఆ కేసు అక్కడితో క్లోజ్ అయిపోయింది.
And they don't even look at what time people die or whatever.
వెయిట్ చేయడం కోసం మాస్టర్ మైండ్ ప్లాన్ సార్. క్రైమ్ డివియేషన్ మాత్రమే కాదు సార్, ఫేక్ ఫింగర్ ప్రింట్స్ తో లేని వాళ్ళని ఉన్నట్టు.
Yeah, I started to say, aren't fingerprints used for voting and IDs and passports?
ఈజీగా అటాక్స్ చేయగలుగుతున్న టెర్రరిస్ట్ల వరకు ఇలా అందరికీ ఫేక్ ఫింగర్ ప్రింట్స్ చాలా అవసరం సార్.
Oh, yeah.
మనం చనిపోయిన తర్వాత మన బాడీలో ఆక్సిజన్ సప్లై, బ్లడ్ సప్లై అయిపోవడం వల్ల ఫింగర్ ప్రింట్స్ ఎక్స్ట్రాక్ట్ చేయడం చాలా కష్టం. గోపాలం చెప్పినట్టు అందుకే ఆ బాడీస్ ని మొబైల్ వ్యాన్ లోకి షిఫ్ట్
into the vans for their
చేశారు. ఆ బాడీస్ నుండి ఫింగర్ ప్రింట్స్ ఎక్స్ట్రాక్ట్ చేసిన తర్వాత వాటిని వేర్ హౌస్ లో స్టోర్ చేసి ఆ తర్వాత ట్రైన్ నుండి బాడీస్ ని కింద పడేస్తారు. ఎందుకు?
Monetizing fingerprints.
మీ ఇద్దరు ఒకసారి అజయ్ హర్ష కాలేజ్కి వెళ్తారా?
కాలేజ్కి?
ఎస్.
ఎందుకు?
వాళ్ళ గురించి ఏ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ దొరికినా ఇట్స్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఫర్ us.
ఓకే.
Is he still subject to getting arrested? Or...
Yeah, in the morning, so they got to do this quick.
కానిస్టేబుల్ ఇచ్చిన కవర్ అనుకో.
Yeah, if the students were getting too close, that's why they had to do all this.
Athreya గారి బెయిల్ క్యాన్సిల్ అయింది సార్. అరెస్ట్ చేయమని ఆర్డర్స్ వచ్చాయి.
This guy just
మళ్ళీ పోనీ.
Well, they have to be in on it because they're the ones that let the guy in, right? And
అందుకే ఈ రెండు బాడీస్కి తాయెత్తు తీయకుండా పడేశాడు. వీళ్ళు తాయెత్తు తిరిగి ఎత్తుక్కుంటూ వచ్చినట్టున్నారు. ర్యాండమ్ లొకేషన్స్లో పడేస్తున్నారు కదా బాడీస్ని. రిలీజియస్ క్రైమ్ చేస్తున్నారు. ఇలాంటి వాళ్ళు ఏ పని చేసినా దానికి దేవుడి పేరు వాడుకుంటారు భయంకరంగా. సాయిబాబా ఇండస్ట్రీస్ అని, బాలాజీ టెక్స్టైల్స్ అని, ఇదని అదని.
So it's a thing?
తీసుకుని తీసుకురా త్వరగా.
వాళ్ళకి కామన్గా ఏమైనా ఉన్నాయా మ్యామ్? ఐ మీన్ ఫ్రెండ్స్ కానీ ఎనిమీస్ కానీ కాలేజ్లో ఏదైనా ఇన్సిడెంట్లో వాళ్ళిద్దరూ ఇన్వాల్వ్
This is getting down to the wire.
ఫైనల్ ఇయర్లో ప్రాజెక్ట్ వర్క్ చేశారు. ఓ దేని మీద చేశారు? ఆ ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఉంటే చూపిస్తారా?
If they're working on a thesis or something, I don't know. If they're criminal law
Religious
students.
crimes.
బేతబల్లి అమ్మన్ మిల్క్ డైరీ, బేతబల్లి అమ్మన్ టెక్స్టైల్స్, బేతబల్లి అమ్మన్ NGO.
Isn't that the NGO that his friend works for?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We haven't seen him for a while. And his friend said he was busy meeting with clients or something like that.
ఇదంతా చేస్తుంది ఆ తండ్రి కూతురులే సార్.
What?
ఈ ముగ్గురు కలిసారంటే ఆత్రేయ దగ్గర ఉన్న డీటెయిల్స్, అజయ్ హర్ష దగ్గర ఉన్న పిక్స్.
Yeah, they're like, we can't get him to meet.
నేను చెప్పిన స్టోరీని ఆత్రేయకి చెప్పాను. అజయ్ హర్ష నెంబర్స్తో పాటు డేటాబేస్లో నా ఫోటో లేని పాత నెంబర్ ఇమ్మను.
ఫోటో లేదా?
Oh, this lady's the mastermind. Jeez.
నా గురించి ఎలాగో తెలియదు. సో ఇంచ్ బై ఇంచ్ అజయ్ని హర్షని ఫాలో అవుతారు. అజయ్ని హర్ష
I started to say that there was like they were too oblivious. They were so hyper they would have been noticing. So they're like, yeah, I want someone to follow me.
చేశాడు. ఆత్రేయ మళ్ళీ జైలుకి వెళ్ళేలోపు చంపేయాలి వాడిని. హసన్లో ఒక పిల్ల డిటెక్టివ్ ఉన్నాడు కదా, వాడిని ఆత్రేయని ఫాలో అయ్యేలా చేయి.
They did.
Yeah.
క్రైమ్ గురించి బాగా నాలెడ్జ్ ఉంది. అజయ్ హర్ష దాన్ని మంచి కోసం వాడారు, ఈ అమ్మాయి ఏమో చెడు కోసం వాడి.
She went into school to learn the business.
Yeah. Wow.
They have like a task list, like check for. And then to find the connections on who to sell them to, you got to be in deep.
Yeah.
వీళ్ళు కూడా వీళ్ళ ఏదో పనులు కవరప్ చేయడానికి ఒక కటింగ్ నడిపిస్తున్నారు. ఆ కటింగ్ పేరే బేతబల్లి అమ్మన్ NGO.
I told you it was the NGO, which is his friend.
I like that he brings his coffee cup everywhere.
He's got to
with
keep
him.
the persona.
It's more like a tick now. Maybe it keeps him from smoking so much.
This place is just a
Shell?
A shell.
Because they must have left in a hurry. మట్టి చూడు తడిగా ఉంది, పొద్దున్న వర్షం పడినట్టుంది. సాక్ష్యాలు కాల్చడానికి ట్రై చేశారు కానీ మంట మాత్రం ఇంకా ఆరలేదు.
Yeah.
ఈ 1 అవర్లో ఆ స్టేషన్ నుంచి కదిలిన ఒకే ఒక ట్రైన్ టు బికనేర్, రాజస్థాన్.
He knows this train schedule by heart now, dude.
ఈ టైంలో అమ్మవారు అక్కడికి తెల్లెలుకల రూపంలో వస్తుందని నమ్ముతారు. ఇలాంటి విచిత్రమైన నమ్మకాలతో వింత వింత ఆచారాల్లో పాల్గొనడానికి బోల్డ్ మంది వస్తారు అక్కడికి.
Yeah. They're going to sell all their goods.
ఈజీ టార్గెట్స్. కేసు క్లోజ్ అయింది కదా, సెల్ఫీ తీసుకుందా?
That's the look that you're supposed to get in that
That's
selfie.
right.
హాయిగా వాళ్ళ ఫింగర్ ప్రింట్స్ తీసుకొని అమ్ముకోవచ్చు. నువ్వు నీ పులియార్ ఐడియాలు. అంకుల్
Yeah, get in on here. Yeah.
వసుదా చంపేశారు, నా కూతురిని చంపేశారు. యాక్టింగ్ నువ్వును. చిన్నప్పటి నుంచే తప్పుడు పనులు చేస్తే అప్పుడే 2 పీకాల్సింది. అది చేయకుండా రాజస్థాన్ తీసుకొస్తావా ఎలుకలతో బిజినెస్ చేయడానికి? నీ ప్యాంటులు వేస్తా ఎలుకలు. వెళ్ళి జైల్లో ఎలుకలతో ఆడుకోండి, అక్కడ తెల్ల ఎలుకలు, నల్ల ఎలుకలు, నీకు కావాల్సిన ప్రతి కలర్ ఉంటుంది స్వామి. ఏజెంట్ దా బన్నీ.
It's like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Group photo.
బ్లాక్ అండ్ వైట్ లో తిండి అందరూ ఒకేలా ఉంటాం.
Black and white.
అని మా హెడ్ క్వార్టర్స్ అక్కడే. అక్కడికి వచ్చి ఫేమస్ డిటెక్టివ్ అంటే ఎవరైనా చెప్తారు. రైట్.
ఒక్క నిమిషం.
Why'd you try and kill me, dude?
It wasn't him.
ఏజెంట్ బాబీ, మా పేజ్కి లైక్ కొట్టు.
Like my Facebook page. I love it.
Well, His mother would be proud of him for solving this whole thing.
మహాలక్ష్మి గారు ఇక్కడ లేరని ఏజెంట్ సాయి శ్రీనివాస ఆత్రేయకి తెలుసు. మహాలక్ష్మి కొడుకు సీనుకు తెలియదు కదా.
I wonder if it like makes the big headline newspapers, all the people find out.
వీళ్ళు వ్యాపారం చేసేది మనుషులతో కాదు, వాళ్ళ నమ్మకాలతో.
Yeah. Manipulating people's emotions and beliefs. Yeah.
Oh, this is what it meant, like a fiction story, but based on true events. Oh, so this was an actual operation. It takes a certain kind of monster to even come up with an idea like that. Oh, even in the Mumbai attacks they used.
అసలు కట్టప్ప బాహుబలిని ఎందుకు చంపాడనే కేసు నేను ఎప్పుడో సాల్వ్ చేసి పక్కన పడేశాను. రాజమౌళి గారు ఈగ తీస్తున్నప్పుడే తెలుసు నాకు ఎందుకు చంపాడు.
Iga, my favorite.
నిండా దోస్ టెల్ మీ మోహినుసుకు లోహువే.
That was the thing, right? Because after Bahubali, between that and that, it's like, why did Katappa kill him?
నిన్న రాత్రి బిల్డింగ్ మీద నుంచి దూకి చనిపోయాడు. సుమారు ఎర్లీ మార్నింగ్ 4 o'clock దూకేశాడు అంటున్నారు. సైడ్ అమ్మట్రా కనుక్కోవాలి.
Yeah, no more chit chat. We're out of the car, girl.
Him and his scissors.
Please come take my card. Sometimes.
Oh, come on! You had to have made the news.
Here goes that cup.
Case solved.
I like that she's got the thing too. Oh man, I was really hoping.
అసలు కట్టప్ప బాహుబలిని ఎందుకు చంపాడంటే
he's got his shtick down. It's like moving on. He's got his pattern. He's got his ways.
Oh wow, that was really good one. That was just so many like strings here, strings there. This like twisted knot of lies and deception. It was very entertaining. The dialogues were just super entertaining. His character, like everything
there was
about him.
a good amount of humor, and sometimes it was dark humor. And he was just this this just bundle of a whole bunch of oddball detectives that I've seen over a lifetime, and I'm like, oh man, this is funny. This is really, really funny. And I like that, it was, at the end of it, it was real case, and something that was pretty terrible too. So I liked it a lot. It was really, really good. I'm hoping that this can be like a series. I definitely am on the bandwagon to see him and Sinha again to watch. I mean,
the whole team though. Like I think the whole team would be really fun, because once they got their crew together, it was like, now, I mean, something definitely solving this would have got him in the newspaper and people would have known about him. And then I would have thought he'd be like more popular or something. But then I guess they had that ending thing 1 year later, and then you'd be like, okay, a year later, dude, you must have a track record now. But no, then
you have a reputation.
No, they didn't even know FBI.
Well, that's
so they slap
exactly.
him, and so he has zero reputation even after that. So it's like, what the heck?
And this is just a guess on my part. I'm sure that the police found it very upsetting that they, because they were being played all along the way. And, I know that police can get very upset when they feel as though they're being played, and then they try
They'll take the credit
they'll
for
take
it.
the credit
maybe
for
that's why he didn't make the papers.
Exactly.
He took the credit.
And they basically, now they're running all these statistics and they're showing all this research and all this evidence that they came up with and so forth. So of course they can look, and he did it with probably probably a lot less evidence than they had access to if they had just been pulling it all together. Yeah, so I would be up for, if this is a recurring series and character, I think it could be really, really a good universe of its own making.
Yeah,
so
I really liked the way they went about making this movie, because it wasn't like the normal sort of thing. Because so to compare it to something sort of similar, we just watched Hit, the first case, not too long ago, and we liked Hit. Like we liked that movie. It was pretty good, but it was more generically the crime thriller mystery whodunit sort of thing, whereas this one took a whole nother tone. Like this one, it really had him going in and seeing the clues. This one really felt like a Sherlock Holmes.
It felt like a Sherlock Holmes, and it felt a little bit more downplayed real. I know that's a weird phrasing. Hit just felt much more polished, I think, in a way, on how its story was being told. And this just seemed to be, just the way it was shot and the characters and everything, it just felt more, I don't know, organic? I'm trying to come up with the right phrasing. It just felt...
It was a little more indie. Like, for sure.
Yeah.
Like the way it was shot, it probably didn't have the high budget and stuff, but I don't think it needed it, because I was thinking that halfway through the movie, as I'm like, wow, this could be made by like, film students or something, because it's not like they had huge epic like chase scenes, car chase scenes like we've seen in others. This never had one of those like crazy like car chase scenes.
Right.
Like this was like, hey, I'm gonna tail him. And this reminds me of, that's why I think it's like very Sherlock Holmes-esque, because it was very story-driven, very clue-driven, whereas some of the others are like, it still gets to some action.
Right.
Like, oh, we have to have the car chasing, we have to have this big explosion, we have to do this, we have to do that.
Right.
And here it was just very down-to-earth and very basically real like effects and special effects and stuff like that in camera, and not done like digitally, where a lot of other movies rely heavily on CGI, where this was like, no, we're just going to film whatever we get in the camera, really, and then we'll go from there. So, I get it. And this didn't have any, like, I don't know, it didn't really seem like it had like fluff in it where, it was like going off track. It seemed like everything was very story driven, and it wasn't trying to hit any like massy sort of style points.
Right,
so
right.
I like it.
I like that there were characters that I think could be built on further along the way, like that one police officer who wanted to just throw him back in jail. I think that's kind of like the nemesis a little bit, and it would be cool to see him showing up again. I'm going to put him in jail because he's just a no good.
Yeah, looking for any reason
exactly,
to put him in jail.
Exactly. Particularly if they start off with that he's called in on a case and that police captain is called in and he's like, oh yeah, I don't like him.
But what I want to know is why the sub-inspector had a hurt wrist, a hurt arm the entire time, and he made it a story point because every time he grabbed his arm, maybe I missed something.
Did we miss something?
But like he kept like grabbing his arm, and then he looks at his like
and
wrapping
like,
and stuff.
What?
I don't know. I'm racking my brain because I'm like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Maybe just to throw us off, like, why are you injured? Because it totally worked on me. Because I'm like, dude, this guy's so suspect. Also, I think it's really funny that I suspected him just because he was a good police officer. And I'm like, there's no way. We've seen too many movies. There's no good police.
And we still didn't tie up the bit with his friend who had
disappeared. He just was like gone,
suddenly gone, and yet he was associated to that NGO.
No, I don't think it was the same one.
He specifically called it out when he called, and he said, "Oh, I'm working for this NGO. I'm doing this NGO stuff."
Well, it's not just one NGO.
Well, I get
what
that,
does NGO stand for?
NGOs usually are
national government organization.
They're usually non-profit government organizations, and they're usually.
So there's probably a whole bunch of NGOs. So even though he said NGO, it could have been a different NGO.
Well,
I don't know, but you guys let us know because to me the friend kind of just vanished, and then we never saw him again.
It's like,
but I mean maybe he had something to do with it because the only reason he was in all those places is because he was there. So maybe they're like, hey, how can we get this guy to come in and be a patsy? I don't know.
Yeah.
But then in the end, they said that they were just following. They saw him and getting to the crime scene. So they're like, hey, this could actually work to our favor and we could pin everything on him. Yeah. So I don't know. It's interesting though. So there is that little thing still left over between that and then why the sub-inspector had the wrist. Going
and of
on.
course, we got to find out, his Watson, Sinha. I liked her, Sneha, in terms of her, what's her story? She's just kind of like, it's like, how did he get her as a sidekick? What's her story?
He put an ad in the paper.
Put an ad in the paper, and is he paying her right? I don't know. If he's only making,
116 rupees on that one case.
I was like, well, if you get maybe 10 or 20 of those a day, okay, it's all right. You're doing maybe okay, but...
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I had fun, but what's your rating? What was your rating?
So I like this a whole lot. So I'm going to give this an 8. And I'd love to see another in this whole genre because I enjoyed this a whole lot. It was lots of fun. So
yeah, I'm gonna give it an 8.5 because I was really Sherlock Holmesing in this. I was like, dude, I was almost ready to see just numbers and like stuff like graphs just start like going out of his like head and things and just like starting to calculate. But I love that. Like one of my favorite things about Sherlock Holmes is that his deductive reasoning is just off the charts. And that's what makes a really good detective. And I really appreciate when someone can think of all those details to have a character play that successfully. And here I didn't think it was overdone. It was, I thought it was like so believable. And the fact that he could just read somebody so quickly. Now, one thing that Sherlock Holmes did, at least I'm talking about the, Robert Downey Jr. one is, they do camera effects, like zoom in on this, zoom in on that, and then he'd be like, okay, well, according to this and this, and then the powder on your shoes. And but they didn't do that with the camera, but he explained it. And I mean, I had that already, the camera effects in my head, zooming in on all these different things. So I really felt the Sherlock Holmes vibe about it. And I don't know, I was really into it because I thought this was a new take on it and just really entertaining. And I'm with you. I'd watch more.
Yeah.
So.
And while the whole thing with his outfit and everything, you saw the same thing with Bobby. It's like,
I was hoping they'd like combine their FBIs together.
Maybe.
Like FBI squared or something. I don't know. Anyway, I really enjoyed it, but let us know in the comments, what did you guys think? What would you rate it? Thoughts, opinions, and did you think those were loopholes, or maybe you know the answers to them? I have no idea, but I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions in the comments. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing, sharing, a like button slap chandy.